Good morning. Today is Monday the 23rd of October and I'm going to go through some of my trade ideas for today. A quick look at the economic calendar. Today we don't have anything of high importance, but we had some news at 8:30 which didn't seem to do too much in the market. No, not much, a little bit of a green candle. And then we got some lower importance events coming up today, so nothing really to worry about. Tomorrow we don't have anything high importance as well. And this week, let's have a quick look. We've got Paul speaking. Okay, that's Wednesday after market, so it won't affect anything. So Thursday really is when the next big news data drops will drop at 8:30, Thursday and Friday. So that means this week I can probably go back to playing a normal size. Last week I was playing half and quarter size because we had so many Fed speakers and the market was so hard to trade, so I just stuck with very small sizes. Did okay, had a good week. Hopefully to do better this week. So currently on my screen at the moment is the 1 hour time frame for the MES, which is the same as the ES chart, and that is the micro E-mini S&P 500 futures. I've cleared all my lines off today. I like to have a bit of a reset sometimes. I cleared everything and I've just redrawn on all my new supply and demand zones and my levels as well. It's getting a bit messy where I've been adding in. So got 2 areas I'm watching for today. I'm looking for a potential bounce if we can get round to 4200, 4205, that area, and that goes back. There's some levels going back. Let's go to the 4 hour chart. Easy to see the 4 hour chart. So basically what I'm watching for a bounce is around this area here. You see we came into that area before, 4205, probably I can fine tune that level a bit there. I'm looking for the bottoms of candles, higher concentrated volume, as you can see from the volume profile tool I keep on the left hand side. Open up my pen. So you can see we've got a higher concentrated volume coming into this area, and we haven't been down there since May. So that's the area I'm targeting for a bounce, and we're not far off it. A bit of a pullback. Let's just recap what we saw last week. So we saw a bit of a sell-off, putting in a higher, a lower low, lower high. Ignore that because it finally broke through the 50 to put in a lower low, higher low, a lower low, higher low, and then maybe this is the higher low. But if you look, we're still yet to close above the 8 moving average. We've definitely not been able to close anywhere near the 20 moving average, so we are due a bit of a pullback soon. So we're in a area of demand right now as well, which is the 4220 area as well. But 4200 is a nice round number, a nice psychological number. So that's a potential area I'll be looking for. And if we get down to that area, then I'll be looking for confirmation. So I'm looking for a candle like this candle. So this is a perfect candle. Come in, we spike the low, come back up, and we put in a new high. And it's a change of colour, and I'll be looking for like a V-shaped reversal, or maybe a double bottom with a slightly higher. So with a slightly higher high. So that's kind of high low, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm keeping an eye out for this area for potential bounce. So 4200 through to 4206, and it'll be a higher probability bounce, so I'll layer in. So I'll probably take the bottom of this demand zone, which happens to be around 4210. I'll take 4206 and 4200. These are levels I'll be watching for. I won't have any qualms if it does break too far below the demand zone, because I'll probably just maybe stop out one of my contract from there and just look to get back in lower down. So I may take a small paper cut trying to find this 4200 bottom, but that's part of my plan. That's what I'm happy with. And then hopefully we've had this big move down, we might see a big move up. We had a bit of high volume as well last week, high we've had for a long time. Whether you could say that's ending volume, if you look at it through like this, we can see increase in volume increase in volume on the sell-off as well. And last time we had ending volume or high volume was that big candle in August, and we had another, there's two big candles in August made a volume up there, but this is higher than those levels. So let's see if there's any other candle that matches that volume. So we're going back to November 2022. So yeah, sometime. So what happened in November 22? We saw a reversal on that level of volume. So yeah, not really much to compare with. And again, this one was a bottom. So that is kind of what I'll be looking for, something like that, a big rejection at the level 4200. So kind of similar, we're getting similar to that type of volume at the moment. But yeah, I think that's, yeah, okay. So I've only just taken a look at the chart really. I've just put my levels in a few minutes ago. So I'm kind of analysing it as I'm talking at the same time. A potential rejection area is where we're coming into right now. And it's a higher risk rejection, 42.3750, and that's just, and let's go back into the hourly so we can refine it a bit. Here we go. So that's the hourly. So every time, if you look, as we come down, we've broken the level, we've come back, retested it and broke down, retested it, broke down, we broke down through this level, hit that area, come back up, retested it, come back down into this area of, it's now supply but was a demand, retested the level again in the pre-market and broke down. So potentially we could continue the trend, come down. We've retested that level now, 42.37, and we may see it break down. So potentially a higher risk rejection is at 42.40, that area. And had I taken my higher risk rejections this week, last week I meant, I would have done pretty well. So that one was one of the ones we talked about in pre-market. In pre-market I was talking about that one as well, and I was talking about that one as well, and each time they sold off quite nicely. But we are coming into a big area of support. So let's just zoom out, let's have a look. Can you see we've got all this area of support, massive area of volume as well, so I'm kind of expecting a bit of a bounce around this area. So this is the area to watch out for, and that's purely because of this area of volume, what do you call it, concentrated volume. Right, okay, so let's just quickly go over the levels again. So we've got a higher probability and a lower probability trade. Higher probability bounce if we get down to 4200, 4206 area, maybe 4205, that area. A higher probability rejection will be, it's a tough one, it's got to be back up 4360 area, or back over this area, 44.20. That's a higher probability. Whether we get there today, I don't know. We need to see a big move up. So I think 43.67.75, 43.60, this entire area. And you can see also concentrated volume as well through the volume profile. So this entire area, I'll be watching for a rejection. So looking for maybe a rejection up there, maybe continue the trend back down. So that's the two high probabilities, and we've got 41.50 is another higher probability. That's the bounce I'd like to try and catch as well. And this area here, we've got a demand zone. Last time we came into that area was here, double bottom, and then big move up, and even the rejection off of that, or the bounce, we saw a big move off of that value, 41.54. And we saw a big push up. Big wicks here shows there's an area of demand as well, where the buyers came in and rejected the sellers, and lots of bottom tails and a big push. So that's an area. 41.50 through to 41.60 is a potential area for a higher probability. Can't get it back. Reset. Here you go. So that's a higher probability bounce as well. So got this area here, 41.50, 41.60. We've got this area here. These are the two highest probability. And note also the 200 moving average is is changing its direction as well. So it's a downward trend in 200 now. So if we come up to that area, we might see a bigger move down. Whereas before, where it's going sideways, we saw a few bounces and it wasn't as big as the bounce we'd like to see, or rejection. And then higher risk plays are going to be the other levels I've got marked up on the chart. So 42.06, 4200 is higher risk but with confirmation. Again, I'd layer into that trade. I'll definitely layer into that one. We've got the bottom of this, the top of this supply zone, which is 42.50 for rejection, but I prefer 42.60 as a rejection area, because as you can see, the floor became the ceiling, and then the floor come through. Now what's the ceiling? And then the same for this area here as well, 42.80, 42.79, this entire area for potential rejection. So that's my higher probability and lower probability trades. Let's go over to SPY now. Okay, look at that, nice. We've tested that area twice today, so that's 418 is a potential bounce area, but higher risk. Let's see, I don't think I've marked up my chart. Okay, 410 is my preferred higher probability bounce area, this area here, and we saw a big bounce off that area last time we were down there, and 404 is another potential area. And let's just see where, and what's that, 400, got nothing marked up, but 400 is a nice psychological number. Let's just mark that on the chart. So 400 as well, potential bounce area for a slight psychological. But looking at the area of the most volume, and that is 412, so this entire area, you can see concentrated volume coming from these. So this is the area I'm waiting for, a higher probability bounce at 412 through to 410. And then for rejections, it's a bit busy, this chart, so let's just get rid of some of these. I like this area for rejection, 436, and the reason that's got tops of candles here and this bottom of a pivot there, and I'm sure if I go back, there's bottoms of candles as well. So 436, higher probability rejection. And then higher risk, we can watch 417 as a high risk bounce, and then 425.40 as a high risk rejection. But that doesn't look too bad, and the reason I like that is because it was an area of supply or resistance, then it became support, then it still became support, and then more recently came up and became the resistance again. So I quite like, and there's a fibs on there as well, 425.40, 425 for a higher probability but with confirmation rejection. Okay, so now looking at Qs, 350, 1 as a higher. I quite like that area, let me just mark that in. That's where we were today, pre-market lows. So 351.39 as a potential bounce, and then that's a higher risk bounce, and we've got a higher risk rejection here at 356. Higher probability, we're going to be looking at 370 for a higher probability rejection. Let's come out. Oh yeah, 320, 335, that's a daily level I've got marked up there. But this area here, 330, but we've got this big void. So let's keep an eye on 347 area for potential bounce, or if it doesn't bounce and it sells right off through that area, a break and retest low, because we've got this void and a bit of a gap to fill. So this is an area to watch out for. We could move down quite nicely in that area. So to recap, 347, this level here, 347.50 for a bounce, or if it sells off a break and retest. In fact, I've got an alert sitting there because I've been watching that for a while as well. And this area up here, 370, is really the only area I'll be watching on Qs. Okay, so I think that's it really for Qs. That's a rejection at 370. Nasdaq. $1440. No, 1400. This area here. I think I've got it marked up. Let's look at the 4 hour for a second. Big area of demand here. What's that from? We saw this move here, we came in and then immediately rejected it, and it takes in this area as well and bounced off that area and rejected off that area as well. So this entire area is a big rejection area, so something to watch for. It's a big bounce area, so something to watch for. If we get down to that area, I'm going to try and find something based on the support and resistance. Probably a common. Let's draw something in now actually. So based on the previous candles, I'll be looking for a potential bounce at 13,706. But that also means getting through 14,000, which is a big psychological number. And in fact, there's another demand zone there which I need to put in. And what I like about this is we saw the bottom pivot. Usually I'd use the previous change of colour, but we came in, we bounced, we spiked through and pushed up, kind of try to hold to 50. So this is an area to watch out for as well. So 14,000 was smack bang in the middle of it. Just put my, okay, spot on. We could also watch for a retest of that area as it's broken through, retest for the reject back down. And again, I saw that also on ES as well, but we are down quite a lot at the moment, and I don't really want to favour a bounce over a short, over a rejection, so I just want to play it as I see it. So if we come into that area and put in a rejection candle, I might look to go short, and the same on the ES as well. Just quick look at oil. Oh, look at that. So still in that channel. We tested the tops and the bottoms. We retested the bottoms today in the pre-market as well. So what is the play? You could play the channel, break up that level 87.80. We talked about this level quite a few times. Quite a significant level as well. Break, retest, and push it back up to 92.50, 91 area. We could see a rejection around there, or if it looks to break the structure, and if you look, it's looking a bit different now, because last time it came down, it touched it, bounced, touched it, bounced, touched it, tried to bounce, came back down and retouched it, and we're on this 200 moving average as well. So if we break the 200, we could be looking to break this for potential change of direction. I'll probably play this one by ear and keep an eye on it. I'm looking, there's no swing trade at the moment. If we join these two together, and we join those together, so you can see a couple of trends. Yeah, I think let's see what happens. If we break this structure, we may be putting in a neckline here for potential head and shoulders pattern, but we won't know that until we see it. So at the moment we're quite early. We're looking for it to break down. If we can break over 87.80, then we could ride it back up to the top trend line and potentially break above 92.50 area, 92.40. So they're the two plays I'll be watching for. So I'm going to put alert in for it to break that candle, and it'll be a scalp more than anything, and I'll put alert in for a potential rejection up that area as well. And that's it really. I don't think there's much more to look at. I'm trying to have a look at MES and ES again. We talked about the break and retest. So we've kind of broken it already this morning and we've retested it. If we look on the, on the 5 minute, it's putting that retest as well, right on that level. So maybe I'm a bit late. I'm trying not to take pre-market trades. I really want to take it during the market. And a lot of the times during the market, during the pre-market live video, I've said, oh, that's a level right now we could take. And every time they would, the last 3 of them, I think, in the pre-market we talked about, all worked out really well. And they were, well, if I just said short any time in the last 3 days, it would have been a good short anyway. But I think we called it. We could have called it there, and definitely on Friday there. Ones I talked about, but you know, I want to play the regular market hours, and that's when the volume liquidity comes in. And like I said, we're coming into this area of demand now as well, but potentially we have in other places. And that's it. And I've got one more indicator to look at on the daily, which I've just been playing with for the weekend. It's my swing trade, and it's the, I can't remember what it's called, something, I can't pronounce it, Ikimoku Cloud. And it's like a leading indicator as well, showing you a possible direction where we're heading. And we had a big wide area here, big wide area here, and it's just the daily's better. But it kind of gives you a potential, like when we're watching it here, it's still green, then it started turning red, and I think we were about here when it turned red from memory, and it's been red ever since. Still red and a little bit of green, didn't really pull back. But this is an indicator I've been watching for a while. In fact, you can probably see on my hourly I've got a smaller version that actually sits in between those candles. And my machine's running slow, I need to reboot it before the market opens. But you can see here it looks like a leading indicator, and the direction's gone from this angle to a steeper angle. So last time we saw a steeper angle, we saw a bit of a bounce as well, so maybe there's something in it there. I don't really like playing indicators, I just quite like this one because it just gives you a sense of the trend and what you're looking at the moment, and obviously we know we're in a downtrend. And I'm still trying to decipher what to do when I get the signal when it turns green. I'm waiting for it to turn green, and I could potentially see when it goes green, and we might see a bit of a turnaround. But it didn't work here, it didn't work there. Not like, kind of did. We were a bit late there. Kind of did there as well, and it's a leading indicator. So if you look, it's a week or so ahead. So kind of gives you. I can't remember. I could go through the science. I did read an article on how it's calculated. But anyway, let's say I'm playing with swing trades. I'm looking for more swing trades, but at the moment, there's no real swing trades. I went through some of them. There wasn't really anything of interest. Right. Okay, well, thank you for watching. So I'm just checking my alerts. There was a few. I might make a separate swing trade video. There's quite a few swing trades I was watching. Daily swing, which I can go through. Which I'm going to go through a bit later on today, and I'm trying to allocate it 2 or 3 times a week for swing trades. And there's a couple potential ones which might be worth watching. But at the moment, a lot of the swing trades are all, these are all below their 5-day 20 moving averages, and I don't really, on their daily, I don't really want to be going long on any of those trades, and don't really want to go short at the moment as well because we're so far down. So we're kind of right in the middle of things. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see some of you in the live room later or in my recap.